Now, an introduction to the Svengali deck. The Svengali deck has been around for plenty of years, and it's one of the most popular trick decks of all time. There are plenty of tricks you can do with it. We're going to learn a whole bunch right here today. The Svengali deck. The secret method of the Svengali deck and the handling. The Svengali deck compromises of 26 cards, all being the same. In this case, we have 26 ace of diamonds. Every other card is an ace of diamonds. Mixed in with the ace of diamonds are 26 indifferent cards. The ace of diamonds are also cut shorter than the other cards. And now here's the difference between the long card and the short cards. Very slight difference. The short card, as you can see, is shorter. When your thumb riffles the deck, it only hits the longer card, allowing you to do plenty of magic moves with the deck. The short cards being the ace of diamonds. When dribbling the cards on the table, no matter where you stop, it's going to be a short card, the ace of diamonds. As long as you riffle the cards, they'll fall in pairs on the table or in your hands. You can make multiple piles like this. You'll be able to cut to the ace of diamonds. That's the basic handling of the Svengali deck. Again, I just want to reiterate how to handle the deck. You can grab the cards at the corners with your thumb, allowing the cards to spring and fall into your hand, showing all the cards the same. The last card is very crucial. You don't want to flash the indifferent card. So make sure it's nice and smooth, every single card. You can also do it with your thumb in the middle of the pack. The cards simply fall off your thumb in a cascade. I use my index finger to help bow the card a little bit as the cards spring down into the hand. The same techniques can be applied, showing the indifferent cards. And the thumb position again at the corner. And the double lift. Fingers go in front of the pack, thumb on the outer edge, lifting up, hitting the longer card with the short card on top. Again, turning over, show an indifferent card. Really two cards. And now a professional Svengali deck routine. I'm going to dribble the cards and just say stop whenever you like. Right there, fine. Have a look at that card. Place your card back in the pack and we'll cover it with these cards on the table. All I have to do is snap my fingers and your card jumps to the top of the deck. Your ace of diamonds. I'll do it again, a little bit slower this time so you can follow the card inside the deck. Still there? These go on top. Slowly push the card inside. Snap your fingers, and the card returns once again to the top of the deck. Let's go a step further and show you all the cards are different. I'm going to make multiple piles with the cards. Go ahead and point to one pile, right here. Good choice. Your card is actually over here in this pile, the ace of diamonds. It wouldn't have mattered what pile you pick because I have your card on top of each pile. People accuse me of having the whole deck full of ace of diamonds. That would make the trick quite easy. However, again, I can show you all of the cards are indeed different. If I snap my fingers, I can cut to your card anytime I want to. If I wave my hand over top of the deck, all of the cards now change into your card, the ace of diamonds, a professional Svengali deck routine. Parts of this professional routine are taught throughout this DVD. So let's move on to the next one. The double lift technique. And show a card, the king of spades, putting it on top, and having it change into the selected card. And now the explanation. You already have a short card, which is the ace of diamonds, in this case, on top. Your thumb will lift up the longer card easily underneath, picking up two cards as one. Turning over, you can show the card. I bend the card with my finger just a little bit to show. Placing the card back on top, you can deal the top card off of the deck. And now you can change the card into the ace of diamonds. The double lift technique. The riffle shuffle with a Svengali deck. Not many people realize you can actually shuffle the deck and keep the cards in the same order. And your Svengali deck is still good. The riffle shuffle. And now the explanation of the riffle shuffle. Since the cards are short and long, they will fall in pairs. Riffle off some cards with your thumb into the opposite hand. Now do a riffle shuffle of the cards. All of the cards will fall in pairs, two at a time. Then put the cards together, and the deck should still be in order, allowing you to do all of your routines. The riffle shuffle. The Svengali deck is a great deck to use for a forcing deck, to force a card, and to do card revelations. You'd have a spectator say stop and look at a card. You already know what that card is. It's the ace of diamonds. Like I said, all of the cards fall in pairs, so while dribbling the cards onto the table, no matter where you stop, will be an ace of diamonds. You can force that card easily with this deck. The forcing techniques. Let me go into depth now with those forcing techniques. There are two of them. We have the dribble force, where you actually dribble cards down onto the table, and the spectator says stop, stopping you at one of the cards. Of course, it's the ace of diamonds. You can also hold the deck in your hand. As you riffle the edges of the cards, they'll say stop, cutting the deck there, and now they can look at their card. All you're doing is holding the cards in your hand, using your index finger to pull back on the cards. They'll say stop, cut the cards there, now show them their card. The ace of diamonds. Two ways of forcing a card: the dribble force and the riffle force. And now the full deck display. Showing all the cards to be ace of diamonds. This is a very pretty move, and this is how it works. First off, make sure you have an ace of diamonds on the face of the deck. If you don't, let's say here you have an indifferent card on the face. Simply cut at the edge of the deck and riffle. You'll cut automatically to the ace of diamonds. Take your hand and riffle the cards, dribbling them onto the table as you spread them out, little by little. Take careful note not to have any of the cards spread, revealing any of the indifferent cards in the pack. Again, nice riffling technique to display all of the cards being the same. Obviously, again, you can feel when dribbling the cards are falling two at a time, allowing you to show the whole deck apparently being all ace of diamonds. The next trick is called Spell My Name. I'm going to dribble the cards on the table. Just say stop.
Stop.
Okay. Have a look at your card. We'll put it back in the deck, and we'll actually mix it up by giving the deck a few more cuts. Now we need someone's name. Go ahead and name a name out loud for me.
Lewis.
Lewis. L-O-U-I-S. That's 5 letters. Okay, very good. L-O-U-I. And on the S is his selected card, the ace of diamonds. Spell my name, explanation. First you do a dribble force. They'll say stop. Have them look and memorize, oops, their card. There we go. It will always be the ace of diamonds. Put the card back in the deck and give the deck a few cuts, losing their card further in the deck. Now whoever's watching the trick, you can ask for their name. Let's use Lewis again. L-O-U-I-S. 1 card for each letter of their name. And it stops on the S for Lewis. That's their card. If their name has an odd amount of letters in their name, it will be the odd card that you stop at. If their name has an even number of letters in it, it will be the next card. This is how you would do that. Let's say they picked John, J-O-H-N. That's 4 letters. J-O-H-N. Count those cards off and put them aside. The very next card would be the selected card, giving you still a very powerful trick. Spell my name, an awesome trick. The next one is card to wallet. I have my wallet sitting here. I'm going to have you just say stop whenever you like.
Stop.
Very good. Have a look at your card and remember what the card is. Lose your card in the pack. And if I riffle the cards like this, your card will disappear. Check it out. Did you see your card in there at all?
Nope.
That's because it actually went into my wallet very quickly. We'll open it up and check it out. There is 1 card. Your card, the ace of diamonds, card to wallet. And now the explanation. Remove one of the duplicates and put it in your wallet. The ace of diamonds behind your money, and you can actually put it face down. And you can put your wallet either in your pocket or put it out on the table before trick, it's fine. Now go ahead and do your dribble force. They'll say stop. Have them look at the card they selected and lose their card back in the pack. And then riffle the cards and say their card will vanish. You can then show their card to be gone from the deck by riffling the cards in your hand with the faces coming down. Riffle the cards off of your thumb. All of the indifferent cards will show in the pack. All of the ace of diamonds are falling down but hidden from view. Again, the cards fall in pairs. So their card vanishes from the deck. Reach out, open up your wallet, show one card to be in your wallet, and turn it over. A great card-to-wallet magic effect. Next up is pure prediction. Just call out stop as I dribble the cards on the table.
Stop.
Okay, have a look at your card. Don't forget what it is, okay? We'll place it back in the pack. I won't even touch the cards anymore. I'm going to try to read your mind here. You picked a red card. I can see by your body language. I can also tell you picked a diamond, the ace of diamonds. You picked the ace of diamonds. I know. Pure prediction explained. You can use this as a mere forcing deck with this one trick and build your presentation around it for maximum impact. Do your dribble force, have them call stop. They'll look at the card. Now, of course, you already know what that card is. I don't do anything else here. I put the card back, square up the deck, and just put it away. I then go into a thing about mind reading in ESP, and you can play it up however you want. I guess the color of the card first, maybe the suit, if it's a low value or a high value card or a court card. I then narrow it down and tell them they picked the ace of diamonds. The pure prediction magic effect. Feel their pulse. Just call out stop.
Stop.
Look at the card and remember what it is. I'm going to place the cards here. I'll give them a few cuts. Lose your card in the pack. Okay, I'm going to spread the cards on the table here. And I could feel your pulse over the deck. And as we get closer to your card, I can sense by your pulse getting faster. Feel their pulse. Feel their pulse explained. Have them call stop, basically forcing the card, the ace of diamonds. Put it back in the pack and give the deck a few cuts. Make sure you have the short card on top of the deck. It's crucial. Now spread the cards out as evenly as possible, especially near the top, the end of cards here, so you can see all the cards evenly. Make sure they're not bunched up at all. You can then grab their hand and their wrist and feel for their pulse over the deck. As you're holding their hand, bring their hand across the deck. You act as though you're feeling their pulse, and their pulse will get faster as you get closer to their card. What you have to do is this. Of course, we have their card here. All of the odd cards in the pack are ace of diamonds. So as I'm bringing their hand over the deck, in my mind I'm going odd, even, odd, even, odd, even, odd. I go through part of the deck, not all the way. Then I slowly bring their hand down to one card. With their finger, I have them push that card out all the way. And simply by feeling their pulse, you can find their selected card. Feeling their pulse. If you like 3-card Monty, you can try 3-deck Monty with the Magic Maker's Svengali deck. You get 3 Svengali decks all being the same. In this case, I'll show you with one. We have all ace of diamonds. So you can have this as the main deck, the wild card they could choose from. This deck is all the same. Then you would have 2 more decks on the outside. They would be all different cards, regular decks. And you could show both of those. The face-up deck, you could move around with the other decks like a 3-card Monty routine. Then ask them where the deck of ace of diamonds are. They'll point to this deck, of course. You can turn it over and show it to be all different. One of the other decks that are face down you could turn over and show that to be now the ace of diamonds deck. Try it. Get 3 Magic Maker Svengali decks. It's a great routine. This is the Eddie Ray Ultimate 3-Pile Monte. We have here a pile full of ace of diamonds, as you can see. And these two, of course, are all different cards. We can turn this ace of diamonds pile face down, and now try to mix you up a little bit by moving the piles around. Little con game. Which pile do you think has the ace of diamonds in it? Over here? You might have caught me, but let's see. They're all different. They're also different. Let's see this pile here. It has to be it, right? They're all different as well. If you put them all together, snap your fingers. Now the whole deck becomes the ace of diamonds. The Eddie Ray Ultimate 3-Pile Monte. Now the explanation to the Eddie Ray Ultimate 3-Pile Monte. Split the deck up into 3 piles, of course riffling to make each pile. Turn the middle pile face up. Now I'm going to cut this pile to get to an ace of diamonds. You're now set to perform this trick. Start off by showing the middle pile to be all the same. You can show the other 2 piles to be all different. Using the Svengali deck technique of the short and long cards. And then you can turn this pile face down. Now try to confuse them a little bit by mixing the cards up. I make it pretty obvious where the ace of diamonds pile is. They'll point to there, supposedly, thinking that's the ace of diamonds. Then you can show it to be all different. Actually, each pile is now different. Stack up all the cards back into one deck. Square it up, turn the deck over, and now show the cards to be all the same. Letting the cards fall off your thumb in pairs, showing the deck to be all ace of diamonds. The Eddie Ray Ultimate 3-Pile Monte. You find your card. Just say stop as I go through the deck.
Stop.
Very good. Have a look at your card. And we'll put it back in the deck. Now give me a number between 1 and 8, and just say it out loud for me.
2.
2, okay. I'll make 2 nice piles. Point to a pile. This one over here?
Yep.
Okay, good. You actually pointed to your card, the ace of diamonds. You found your card. The explanation for this is nice and simple, as all the tricks on this DVD with the Svengali deck. First, have them pick a card by doing your riffle force or dribble force. Have them look at it. Place it back in the pack. Now ask them to give you a number between 1 and 10, or whatever you'd like. Between 1 and 8, 1 and 10 is fine. Whatever number they say, make that many piles. If they say 7, make 7 piles. As you do that, riffle the cards to ensure a short card on top. 4. Make some smaller piles here. 6 and 7. They can point to any pile they like. No matter where they point to, each pile will have an ace of diamonds on it. They found their card. It's a great trick. This one's called Card Case Leftovers. Just say stop whenever you like.
Stop.
Okay. Have a look at your card. We're going to put it back in the pack. And I'm going to try to make your card vanish from the deck. No sleight of hand here, okay? One cut is all it takes. Your card's gone. Check it out. Your card's nowhere in the deck. Did you see it at all? Didn't think so. That's because it actually goes inside. Do you hear it? I hear one card. Let's look. Your selected card, the Ace of Diamonds. Card case leftovers. The explanation to card case leftovers. Take one of the duplicate cards from your pack and place it into the card case. Close it up and put it aside. Now do your dribble force. They'll say stop and have them look at their card. Give the deck one cut and tell them you're going to make it vanish but with using no sleight of hand whatsoever. Go through the deck now. Let the cards fall face down into your hand. All of the indifferent cards, the long cards, will show. You can go through quite slowly and they'll never see their card in the pack. It's vanished. Put the deck down. Bring the box out and shake it. They'll hear something inside. Open the flap. Remove their card so the face is towards you, the back of the card's towards them. Have them name their card out loud, then turn it over and show them the card is now out of the case. Card case leftovers. Easy, ambitious card. We're going to have a card selected, so just say stop.
Stop.
Okay. Look at your card. I want to place your card back in the middle of the pack and just simply replace the pack back on top of your card. A simple snap of the fingers and your card will rise to the top, hopefully. Just like magic. We'll go a step further, placing your card back in the pack. Giving it a cut. Leave your card sticking out so you can see it. You can use your finger to push the card in the pack. All the way in, and it jumps back to the top again. One more time. I can show you they're all different. Cutting your card in the deck. Leave it sticking out one more time so you can see it. Pushing it in and having it jump to the top. Easy, ambitious card. And now the explanation. Have them select a card by doing a simple force. I'll say stop. Have them look at their card. And replace the other half back on top. No funny moves whatsoever. Snap your fingers and say the card will rise back to the top of the deck, the one they picked. Simply turn over the top card, showing the duplicate. To go a step further, place the card out about halfway so it's out jogged. And now you can cut the deck, keeping their card out jogged. You can bend it up so they can still see it. Have them push it in with their finger. If you snap your fingers, the card will jump again to the top of the deck. You can repeat this same action 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 times, if their card jumping to the top of the deck. They might say the deck is probably full of all Ace of Diamonds, and you can prove them wrong by showing them all to be different. A nice little subtlety to add in there during your easy, ambitious card routine. The Eddie Ray card jump. Just say stop.
Stop.
Okay, have a look at your card. We'll place it back in the deck and back in the middle. If I snap my fingers like this, your card will actually jump on top of the deck. Did you see it? Look. It's that simple. Card jump. And now the explanation to card jump. Take the duplicate, ace of diamonds, and slightly bow the card. Don't crease it, just bow it like this a little bit. Goes on top of the deck. You hide this bow in the card with your finger and thumb, keeping it down. Then do a riffle force of the front cards. They'll say stop. Maintain the break and cut. Fingers on top of the bowed card right here. Push out their card and show their selection. Place their card back in the deck. This half goes back on top. Your middle finger and thumb will grab the edge of the cards, like this. When you snap your fingers, you can kind of kick the card from the top up, like this, and have it move, like it jumps to the top of the deck. With enough bow in the card, you can get it to kind of hop on top. You can have them remove the card and turn it over themselves for maximum impact. Card jump. Card jump variation. Just say stop for me.
Stop.
Okay, have a look at your card. We'll put it back in the deck, and I'll snap my fingers and your card will jump to the top. I can actually make your card move ever so slightly. Wiggling my fingers on top. And it falls off the deck. Your card, the ace of diamonds. And now the explanation. You basically do the card jump routine, but you add a little bit of hand movement to make the card move. You're at the point where the card jumps on top of the deck. By tilting your hand back slightly towards you, the card will actually slide off of the deck. You can control the movement by your hand. I use my opposite hand and the fingers to pretend to move that card slowly and get it to fall off the deck. Turn the card over and show their card has mysteriously jumped and moved off of the deck. The card jump variation. Now a cool little surprise selection routine. Using the Svengali deck, you can have 3 or 4 people actually select a card. Make sure each person only sees their selected card. Don't allow them to see any other card at all. You'll be forcing the ace of diamonds 3 or 4 times. To the dribble force, they'll say stop and look at their card. Make sure nobody else can see it. The next person would say stop and look at their card. Each person thinking they have a free choice of a card, not knowing they're all the same. The third person would say stop and look at their card. Of course, nobody else knowing what their card is. At the count of 3, you could have all of them name their card out loud. To the surprise of the audience, they're all the same. Surprise selections. Enjoy. This one's called Rub the Arm. Watch. Just say stop.
Stop.
Okay. Look at your card. Place your card back in the pack. Now I'm going to use, let's use one of the top cards here. Let's use the 10 of diamonds. We'll take the 10 and actually rub it on my arm. And hopefully we can get the change into your card. The ace of diamonds. Rub your arm. This is a nice, quick, and simple trick. It uses the double lift move taught earlier. Do your force. They'll look at their card, placing it back in the pack, and then cut it into the deck, losing the card. Then do your double lift. Thumb on the back, lifting up. Remember, the ace of diamonds is on top. Lifting up the long card, turning your hand over to show a different card. Putting the card back on top, you'll say, was that your card? And they'll say no. Put the deck down and remove the top card. They think you're removing the card you just showed. Really not. Pick up the card, keep it face down, and rub your arm to make the change. Then turn it over, revealing, by rubbing the card on your arm, changes into their card. Rub your arm. Here's a variation called in your hand. They'll say stop, they'll look at their card, and you'll place it back in the deck. Cutting in the deck. Now, instead of rubbing your arm with an indifferent card, supposedly, you'll do this. Ace of diamonds here. Do your double lift to show an indifferent card. Now place the top card in their hand, face down. They'll think it will be the card you just showed, really not. Then have them turn over the card in their hand, changing into the selection. This adds a lot of impact, and it's a very powerful trick for your audience. In your hand. Next up is DNA fingerprints. I'm just going to go through the deck, just have you say stop. Good, right there. I'm going to remove your card, and I want you to actually put your finger on top of the card. Very good. Now look at your card. Place your card back in the deck. Now we have your fingerprint on the back of the card. I'll lose your card in the pack a little bit further. And now deal cards on the table, one by one, looking for your fingerprint. Ah, right here it is. Your fingerprint's right here. And there's your card. DNA fingerprints. Here's the explanation. Again, a simple force, having them say stop. Before you show them their card, place the card in front of the pack. Have them place their finger on top, placing their fingerprint on the card. Now show them their card, placing it back in the deck. Give the cards a few cuts, losing it in the pack. You're now going to attempt to look at the back of the cards for their fingerprint, really only keeping track of the odd cards. Go past a few cards. Whenever you're to an odd card, you can stop whenever you like. Now you say, I see your fingerprints. Turn over the card, and you've found their selection by finding their fingerprint. An awesome trick. In the dark. We'll do this trick with the lights on, but we'll turn the lights out on the deck. Let me show you what I mean. Just say stop. There's fine. Have a look at your card. We'll place it back in the deck. I'm going to cut the deck multiple times, like this. I'm going to make it harder by actually covering the deck up with a handkerchief. Now the deck is in the dark. And try to cut to your card, hopefully. And that's in the dark. And here's the explanation. This is a very simple trick, but it looks very difficult, which is nice. Have them say stop, and of course look at their card. You know it's going to be the ace of diamonds. Place their card back in the pack, and lose it by cutting it in a few times. Now you can use a pocket handkerchief, a silk scarf, or even a paper towel or napkin for this. We'll use a small scarf, covering up the deck, making the trick seem a lot more difficult. All you're going to do is cut the cards with your fingers at the top and bottom edge, lifting up. You'll automatically cut to a short card. With the deck covered, it seems much more difficult. Lifting up, the card from the cut is on top, showing the selection in the dark. Next up is perfect vision. Just say stop as I go through the cards.
Stop.
Okay. We'll place your card face down. We actually won't even look at it yet. I'll show you the technique and skill I've learned by a good friend of mine in Las Vegas. He said that you can actually look through the cards and tell which one's missing in record time. He taught me the skill. Only took about 5 seconds, but I could see in the deck the ace of diamonds was missing. Let's see what card you picked. And I found it. And now the explanation to perfect vision. Simply have them say stop. Before showing them their card, place it face down in front. Of course, you know what it is already, the ace of diamonds. But keep it face down for the suspense later on in the routine. Complete the pack, put it back together and square up the cards. And now you're going to make it look like you're looking at the cards, trying to find which card is missing in the pack. You can go through it once, go through it twice, and you announce the card that's missing as their selection. Say it out loud, the ace of diamonds, and you found their card. Perfect vision. Next up is dicey. Okay, I'm just going to have you tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Okay, have a look at your card. We'll place it face down in the pack. And if you gamble at all, we're going to do this with you. We have 2 dice here. I'm going to roll the dice. And we got a 3. If I count 3 cards down, watch. 1, 2, on the 3rd card is your selected card. The ace of diamonds. Dicey. And now the explanation. Use 2 regular dice, and of course your Svengali deck. Force the card, they'll say stop. Place the card back in the pack, and now cut it in the deck. Cut it a few times. Now have them roll the dice. We've got 5. If they roll an odd number, great. Watch. We have rolled a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th card down will be the selected card, since every other card is the ace of diamonds. Now let me show you what would happen if they rolled an even number. Let's say 10. Watch. Count 10 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Put the 10 cards down. The very next card is their selection. The ace of diamonds. Still a powerful trick. Dicey. The next trick is called silent whisper. Here's how it would work. Before you actually perform the trick, go up to a spectator and whisper the force card, ace of diamonds. Make sure nobody else hears you or sees you do this. Make sure they keep it to themselves until you ask them to say the card. You would then have a spectator say stop at any card. You would place that card face down. You would then say, you ma'am, whisper something that you know to the other person. That's their cue to whisper a card into somebody's ear. They would then name that card out loud, and it would be the named card, the ace of diamonds. So somebody from the audience knew beforehand somehow that would be the selection, the silent whisper. This next one is called clipped. You can say stop. Stop right there. I'll have you look at this card. We'll put it back in the middle of the deck, and I'll give the cards a nice cut. Now we're going to use the top card in the pack. That's the 6 of clubs. And I'm going to clip the 6 of clubs with this clip, so you can see it go in the deck. I'll cut the cards, cutting the clipped card in the middle of the deck. If I snap my fingers and spread the cards, finding the clipped card, even though it was isolated with the clip, it would change into the selection, the clipped card. And now the explanation to clipped. Use a paper clip or a clip like this. Have somebody say stop, and they'll look at the card. Of course, it's the force card. Place the other half back on top. Give the deck one complete cut. Now do a double lift. Very easy with your Svengali deck. Lifting up in the back. Easy 2 cards. The short cards on top. Show them a different card. Asking, is this your card? They'll say no. Place the card back on top. Push the card over slightly. And now take your clip and clip it. They will think you're clipping the card you just showed, but really you're clipping the selection. Cut the clipped card into the pack. Snap your fingers, then spread through the deck, showing the isolated card in the clip can change magically into their selection, clipped. Next up is a trick called reversed. Just say stop.
Stop.
Okay. Look at your card right here. I'm going to place your card in the pack, square it up, and I'll give it a cut into the deck. Simple snap of the fingers and a spread, and your card turns face up in the pack. That's called reversed. And now the explanation to reversed. Beforehand, take one of the duplicates and turn it over, thus giving you a card already reversed, the duplicate card. Pick up about half the deck, leaving the selection or the reverse card down in the bottom half. Dribble the cards and have them say stop, and show them their selection. Place the deck or the card back on top of the deck, face down, and now give the cards one cut. Spread the cards, of course, face down. It wouldn't work face up. And show them their card magically reverses itself in the pack and turns face up. Their selection. A cool trick called reversed. The next trick is called ghostly turnover. I'm going to have you say stop to select a card. Okay, have a look at that one. Place your card back on top. I'm going to cut the deck a couple times, losing your card in the pack. I will now drop the cards on the table. One card hops, face up. The ghostly turnover. And now the explanation. I do your normal force. They'll say stop. They'll look at their card and remember it. Place it back in, and now cut their card into the deck a couple times. I now have a short card on top, the duplicate card. Push that card over secretly to the right like this with your thumb, with your other hand in front to cover. It will get clipped between your pinky and ring fingers. The card's being held still, like this. I'll lift the deck off the table and drop the deck like this. The card gets dropped last, at the last second, to flip over. Watch it again. Pushed over and clipped, and flips over. You want to do the move very quickly so the cards seem to fall all at the same time. And their card will mysteriously turn over when the cards are dropped. And that's ghostly turnover. This is a cool trick called cross selection. Let's look at it. I'm going to split the deck in half into two halves. I'll actually mix each half up like this, mixing the cards up really good. I can spread each half out on the table and have a card selected from each half. It's looked at by the audience and remembered. The cards then are put face down, so you can't see, of course, and switched. They're placed anywhere else in the other halves and squared up, losing the cards in the opposite halves. They can be cut and mixed thoroughly, and the magician can find those two selected cards, the cross selection. And go through the deck. One card maybe there. And let's see what's over here. I think I have one there. And you find the two selected cards. Crossed selection. And now the explanation. You split the deck up so you have all ace of diamonds together in one half. The other half is all the different cards. Place those halves together and square them up. I take the cards and briefly look through them, separating the cards at the halves. Putting the different cards in one pile, all the ace of diamonds in the other pile. Spread the cards out. You can now have an audience member pick a card out of each pile. Have them slide a card out. And remember each card. The selections are then switched into the different piles, put face down, and shuffled. Each half can be shuffled by itself. All you have to do to find those two cards is look through the packs. You already know the one's going to be the ace of diamonds. And there it is. Set it face down on the table. Look through the other half, and you'll see the only indifferent card in here will be the selection. All the others are ace of diamonds. There's your selection, pulled out face down. The two cards are revealed to be the two selected cards. The cross selection magic trick, an awesome trick with your Svengali deck. Thanks for watching. Look for me on more Magic Makers featured DVDs. I'm Eddie Ray. Thanks.